The 28-year-old 3D modeler was reborn in the fantasy world of sword cultivation and mecha, binding the sword casting system, loaded the sword map of a different world, using cheats while being careless. No way. Whether the world casts swords or shapes, it is too simple for a three-dimensional modeler. After continuously working overtime for 7 days and 7 nights, he was taken away by red lightning. And yes, we know what happens next to a main character who works hard and dies. They always have a chance to transmigrate or get isekai'd to another world. Fast forward, the scene changes and then there's a village. A baby is born in that village, a man is shouting. A swordsman, it's a swordsman. The 3D modeler is confused, perhaps they are talking about me. The man talks about the baby being an innate swordsman, thus, another swordsman has been born into the Lu family. Your name shall be Lu Jin, you will revive the Lu family and rise to the peak. And like that, the 3D modeler was reborn to another world as Lu Jin. Fast forward, Lu Jin is now 10 years old. This is a cultivation world with swords and mechas. Using the spiritual roots as the guide, forging the sword essence as the embryo and condensing it with the dantian as the sheath, then cultivating the sword intent in it, then use the sword as the blueprint, to materialize the invisible sword intent. He looked at the window at school and saw 2 men fighting using their sword intents and transform into a mecha. Some sword mech. The 1000-foot form method is the sword intent transformation. It is a great fighting method created by people of this world to fight against foreign evil demons, but in this world, not everyone has the aptitude for sword cultivation. Lu Jin's class is now in an aptitude test to check if they have the aptitude to use sword intent. People can sense sword intent and forge an embryo is 1 out of 100, people that condense and forge it to the sheath is 1 out of a 10,000. And the body Lu Jin was reborn into is a rare innate swordsman. He can instantly get to the condensing stage without any problems. With his past memories and Lu family's resources, he was able to use the spiritual root as a guide at the age of 6. Eager to revitalize the Lu family, the old man led the whole family to explore the newly discovered ancient secret realm, but he didn't expect to fall for the demonic sword sect's traps. The patriarch was ambushed by the evil sword sect in the secret realm and has a lot of casualties. A scum-looking man appears and starts talking. Ha ha ha, Lu Jin, now that uncle and your parents are nowhere to be seen, your sheath and your innate talent for swordsmanship have been rendered useless. This path of yours is completely over. The Lu family doesn't need 2 innate talented swordsmen. The real genius is only me, Lu Yuan, and that's enough. Lu Yuan arrogantly claims that he will replace Lu Jin for the entrance to the Baixia Swords Mansion, rise to the pinnacle of swordsmanship and bring glory to the Lu family for 100 years. He then continues to belittle Lu Jin, saying he won't leave the dilapidated house till he dies from serious injuries. Lu Jin then thought he lost everything and was about to die when... Ding! Retrieving a high-level soul from a higher realm, the ultimate sword casting system has started to bind. Sure enough, cheats will be late but never absent. Announcement continues, system binding completed, reading the memories of the host to generate a sword cast. Design. A soldier reported to the patriarch. Zhao wishes to see. The patriarch decided to withdraw the engagement. His son beside him talks and suggests giving the engagement to Lu Jin instead. Lu Yan keeps talking about taking everything from Lu Jin, even his fiancée. They thought the news of withdrawal of engagement was what everyone would like to hear, but the patriarch is mad by how a mere mid-rank sheath causes trouble in his residence. It's just that the Zhao family is afraid of being looked down on by the Lu family, but she has been accepted as the disciple of the great elder of the Sushui Peak. The girl then glares at the patriarch and threatens him that if he dares to stop her, she will wipe out the Lu family. The girl then continues to talk. Although it is only in name, Lu Jin is still her fiancé, she can't let them bully Lu Jin. She then proceeds to take Lu Jin away. That's how Lu Jin met his heroic lady who's strong and protects him. And like that, Lu Jin stayed at the Zhao residence at Kangbei town, living a happy life as a son-in-law without shame. The girl who is now Lu Jin's wife is on a journey pursuing the ultimate sword intent. And just like that, 2 years have quickly passed, time skips and Lu Jin is now 18 years old. After his dantian sheath was destroyed, he only had the same as the system, the hammer pattern. System space, another world sword tomb. System announcement. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing the casting of 10 swords. You have obtained the minor sword casting completion achievement. 10 years of cultivation experience card times 3 and dad grade metal attribute dantian sheath times 1 will be given as rewards. Lu Jin was surprised with the sudden announcement, thinking he might be cheating in this world. Ding. Resource collection mission. The system has detected that there is a heavenly grade spiritual metal 1,000 kilometers away, requesting the host to retrieve it. Lu Jin sensed it as well. Some strong sword intent is being used from afar away. At first Lu Jin wanted to do a simple mission, but didn't think he would encounter problems moments after he left the Kangbei town. The enemy is hunting the Baxia Saintess for the Baxia's treasure, the Baxia sword and the heavenly grade spiritual metal, the one that Lu Jin detected. However, the Saintess didn't know she had the heavenly grade metal, and doesn't want to surrender the Baxia sword no matter what. A fight started and a man suddenly shows up and wants to gain entry to Baxia's sword mansion. It is Lu Jin. He's still waiting for the payment of being hired by the Saintess. The Saintess gave the payment to Lu Jin and Lu Jin says, "This amount is not enough to save your lives, but it's just enough to save them." Open sword tomb. "Just draw me a sword," he says. He then drew the Qing Gang sword and cast sword intent transformation. The Saintess is in shock. Why does Lu Jin have quadruple sword halos behind him, thinking Lu Jin is as strong at the Emperor stage. All around Lu Jin is shocked with the spiritual energy of the metal and wind attribute he has, thinking Lu Jin might be born with a dual sheath just like the Saintess. The enemy tries to ignore Lu Jin and charges at the Saintess. Lu Jin fights them before getting near the Saintess. The enemy is confused by how Lu Jin was able to slice 4 great spiritual ranked sword mech like they are vegetables. The Saintess is really surprised. Is that the power of the law? Has his sword been granted the law of Tao? In the entire Dagon dynasty there isn't one swordsmith that can bestow the power of the law, just where did that masterpiece come from? The enemy is in disbelief. Impossible. The corpse-toothed sword is the strongest weapon of the spiritual ranked sword mech. How can the legendary power of the law be on such a mere spiritual ranked sword? Lu Jin then cuts the enemy. He then explained what sword he is using. It's called the Qing Gang. It cuts iron like mud. Under any circumstances, it's unstoppable. The Qing Gang sword is a spiritual grade sword mech that uses the power of the law top grade armor. The slashes of the Qing Gang sword cannot be blocked by any weapon or armor. Chapter 1 ends. Thanks for reading with me.